So welcome again, my friends, to a new chapter, which is gonna be for the post part. Okay, this part is very needed because we couldn't do everything in the post in the homepage because we actually we didn't have like the friend and the follow system, and also the posts were not fully done. So now that everything is done, we can work on the post fully without any problem. Okay, so we're gonna show like the right post. So for example, now that we have the friend and follow system, we're only gonna show you the post of the people that you follow. It's not gonna use the friends, we're gonna use the follow, which is more important because we've done when you add friend, okay, you follow them, and when they accept you, they follow you back. That means the following system is more, reliable. For example, you can be friends with someone and then unfollow them so you can stop seeing their posts. This is like the actual way that Facebook does it. I just didn't get it from my head. So that means the people we follow is the post that we can see their post, which is probably we're gonna be friends with them unless you decide to unfollow them. Okay, that's the first thing. Also, we're gonna work actually on showing all the proper information because we didn't populate some of the information, so we didn't see like the covers. Don't worry about that. You're gonna see all the posts, the people you follow, also your posts, and you're gonna be like ordered by the dates. Also, we're gonna work on all the properties right here, like saving, downloading, maybe the full screen, maybe removing. We're gonna do all of that, don't worry. And we're gonna see everything related to the post. And before doing anything, I'm gonna fix this problem. It's actually just the simplest thing ever. I just didn't do it, I forgot. So the problem was, like when the page loads, let me just remind you, we wanted to make the height of the home page, the whole page, the height of the middle parts. And the middle parts right here in the beginning, it could be like when the page lands, we didn't get like the whole post. Okay, so it takes just the parts that is visible, which is 100 viewports height. So to make sure that it changes and takes even after the post loaded, and then we have like the full height, which is after all the post gets. That means we can just use the loading states and the use effects, and that's gonna help us show everything. Okay, so let me just remind you, if you go back to the app, we have this loading state, which is for getting the post. Okay, so we can take that. That means it's gonna run again when we get the post, and that's gonna help us. So where is the home page? Or is it? So this is the home page. We're gonna pass that like that. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the home, and we're gonna get that also from the props. And then in the use effects, where we set the height, we're just gonna add it to use effects. That's all. So that means in the beginning, even if it didn't take the full heights because the posts weren't loaded, now when they're loading, then that means it's gonna change and run that again. Okay, let me go right here, and now we're not gonna have any of this problem. Okay, you can refresh a million times and it's never gonna be a problem. Okay, that's like a permanent solution to that. Well, I was wrong because if you go like to the end, okay, you're still gonna have this problem. I was wrong, but at least I'm honest, because only loading is not enough. You need also to add the height. Okay, that's mandatory for the height. When the height changes, that means we need to check again. So now let me refresh again. I hope this time I'm right. Okay, so everything is fine, and you can go to the end and everything's still fine. Okay, now we need to go back to the backend and work our magic. Okay, so if you remember, the function that we're using right to get the post is in the backend, and then goes to the controllers post. This function gets all posts is the function that gets us all the posts. Okay, this is going to be a lot of changes right there. Okay, so first of all, let me just show you from the database. If we into the users, okay, we're gonna need the following array. So let me see if someone, where is it, this one? Okay, so if we go back to the following, like we're gonna get all of those. So that's the first thing. I want to get the list of the people that I follow. Okay, so we can do that. That's not that hard. Let me remove this one. Let's call this following. We're gonna use await, and then we're gonna use the user model. Okay, so let me get it from here. Okay, and then we're gonna use find, okay, by ID, because I needed to get it from my user. Okay, find by ID, and the ID of the user logged in from the request.user.id. Let me make sure that get all post has the auth user. So this works. So let me go back to the rows and then post. Okay, so we had, where is it? Oh, we have the auth user. That means I can get it from the request. That's very important to make sure. Okay, and then we're going to use select, and then you can select the following. Okay, and then if we console log the following, just to show you something very important, like you would see, like we select the following. So for this user that I've, I'm getting it, I'm only gonna get the following. Now it doesn't work like this. Even if you select one, you're always gonna get that, and also the underscore ID. So if you open the console log, let me refresh right here, and let me just go back. You're gonna see right here, as you see, we get the ID, also the array of the following. So that means if I want the following, I want to access the following inside that. So okay, so now we don't have the post because we work on the function now. So as you see, okay, so you can't access it directly. So that's one of the problems. So let's call this following temp, and then right here we can call them following, which is gonna be the following temp dot following. Okay, that's the first thing. So now if we refresh like that, and as you see, we're gonna get a. So now that we have the following array ready, we can just simply map through it, and we're gonna go through every single ID and then go to the database and get the post for that user. Okay, and you can just get the recent ones, like get like 10, the latest 10 or 20, or depending on how much you want, because if they have like a million posts, you don't want to get all of them. Okay, that's gonna be too much. So you decide that. And one of the challenges that you have, like when you use for, map, for each, it just, some functions that just don't go with, asynchronous, iterations. So for example, every iteration that we're gonna have, we're gonna go to that ID and then go to the database and get their all posts. Okay, and that's an asynchronous function. And in these functions, it doesn't just wait. So we need a way to just make us every iteration, it's just gonna be a waiting process. Okay, so it's gonna be a promise, and then we're gonna resolve that. So it seems like a lot of work, but it's actually pretty simple. So let me just explain. So we're gonna go const, let's call this promises, and it's gonna be simply going to the following and then map. Okay, yeah, typos all the way. So map, we're gonna get every single user, which is just the ID. Okay, and we're gonna use return, and then we're gonna await, and then go to the post and then find, and we're gonna find by the user property, okay, which is the user that wrote the post, and the property that we're gonna search by is the user that we have right here, which is just the ID. Okay, so that's gonna give us the properties that we want, and then we can populate the properties that we want, which is first of all gonna be the user. Okay, every single post has the property user. So I know sometimes you get confused by just this. So let me go back to the models and then the post. So right here, every one of them has the user property, which is gets us the properties of the user. So we can go and get that. And also for the comments, we're gonna go to the comments and then get the comments by, so we can populate that. So we're gonna get the user and then also populate the comments dot comment by. Okay, and actually like gets only the informations that you need. Okay, like the first name, then last name, then picture. Okay, maybe cover. I don't know, probably not gonna need the cover. Okay, maybe, so I have the first name, last name, picture, and then the username. I don't know, let me just see what we've done before. Okay, so we get the first name, last name, and the username. Okay, so that's enough for the populate. For this one, for the user, I don't know how much we're gonna need, so it's not a problem. Okay, so that's not all of it. You still need like to maybe, so use populate and then populate again. Okay, so that's everything is fine. We can also like sort. Okay, that's for us, so it's gonna be by the created at. I'm gonna use -1, so it's gonna get from the newest to the oldest. We can limit like how much we want. For example, like, I don't know, 10 posts. That should be like up to you, and you can decide actually what you want. Okay, and this is not gonna be a wait. Sorry, it should not be a wait right here. Okay, you can't like await inside a mapping function or for any of them. Okay, what we can do is use one of the coolest functions. Let me just show you, which is promise.all. The promise.all method takes an iterable of promises as an input. So it takes, an array of promises, which is what we have. We just simply have an array, okay, that has a lot of promises. So the first one is going to be getting for the first user, then the second, then the third. So we have a lot of, promises, okay, and returns a single promise. So it's going to take all of that and then give us a single promise that's resolved to an array of the results of the input promises. So it goes and give us back an array of all the returns of the the results that we get from every single iteration that we got. And that's one of the coolest thing you can do. So it's actually one of the nicest thing, and probably a lot of people don't use it, but it's very important. So I'm gonna leave this link for you in the resources so you can learn more about promises. And I always advise you when it comes to like these JavaScript functions, there are a lot of them, so maybe you can use the documentation so you can understand more about them and all the aspects of all these functions, okay? Because YouTube videos can be helpful, but nothing better than a detailed documentation that goes through all the aspects of that function, the arguments, examples, and all the other stuff, okay? And then you can like show watch videos after. But documentations when it comes to the JavaScript functions are better and more understandable, okay? So let's continue. So we have the promises right here. All we're gonna do is just simply resolve them, okay? So let's call this following post. We're gonna use await and then use promise and then all. So we're gonna resolve all the promises and we're gonna just pass the promises that we get. That's simply all we're gonna need to do. And then we just console log the following posts, okay? Let me open the console, let me refresh. Not here. Okay, and go back right here. Okay, let me just maximize this so you can see. Let me go to the top. Okay, so we're gonna get an array that has many arrays. So every single user has many posts, which is gonna be displayed in an array. So we can have array inside an array. So we don't want that. So maybe we can flat the array that we got. So we just simply can have array with just objects inside them, okay? So maybe right here, let me take all of that and add flat to it. So the result is gonna be also flat like that. Okay, now open the console again and let me refresh. Go back right here and we're gonna have the results. So let me go down, and as you see, we have an array that just has objects, okay? It's gonna be a lot of information right here because also we're populating the comments and the user informations, okay? So actually we don't like need all of these informations even for the post, okay? So we can go take all of that, okay, and do the same right here for the user. Actually we don't need anything. Okay, sorry, this is gonna be why this is okay. So sorry, we have a quotation right here we need to remove, okay? So that's could be better. If we need any other information, we're gonna notice and then we're gonna add it, okay? So now we have the following post. Also we're gonna need my post, so we can go right here, const, what am I doing, const user post. We're gonna use await and then we're gonna go to the post and then find, okay, and we're just gonna pass the user. The user this time is going to be from the request dot user dot id from the auth user, okay? And you're going to use the same properties right here. So let me take those and just add them right, not right here, what is it, right here, okay, like that. And this is going to give me like the 10 newest posts from me, okay? You can like play with the values, decide how you want to do it, okay? So now we have all of this. So now I want to just put them inside a single one. Okay, so we have the following post, okay? So maybe I can take like one of the arrays and then add the rest to it. Let me take that, okay? And then I'm gonna push through it the rest. So we're gonna spread the values of that array that we have in the following post, and also we're gonna spread the rest, which is gonna be for the user post, okay? Like that. So now you console log, okay, the following post like that. Do we have a problem right here? Post, okay, let me add an S right here like that. So let me open the console again, let me go down, okay, let me just save more, then go back right here and let me refresh and let's wait. Okay, so now we get all the results that you want, all the posts needed and everything you need, okay? And if we have any problem, we're gonna notice that it's not gonna be that hard. Just one singular array that we say simply, we're just gonna send the following post that has all the posts we want, okay? So now if I go back to the home page and refresh, okay, so we need to see like all the informations of the post right here, all the posts actually, because we send in the posts, but it's taking a bit of long time because I'm downloading. Okay, so we have another problem. Okay, we need to get the cover also. If you go back right here, we need to get the cover for the user, okay? For the comments, we're not gonna need it, but for the user, it's absolutely gonna be needed for the user. Okay, add cover. We're gonna have a loader, so don't worry. I'm just downloading Elden Ring, so the connection a bit slow, but for you it's gonna be fine. So wait a little bit, and as you see, we're gonna have all the posts normally the way we want. Okay, but this is not enough, because as you see, we have like 5 days ago, 5 days ago, 16 days ago. Probably they're not organized. They look organized, to be honest with you, but I don't know, maybe not. Because if we go right here, then it's gonna show the newest one again, because it's just not fully organized, okay? Not fully ordered. So before we send in it, we can take the following post and go on and use sort function, okay? And we can use EB, the same we've done this before, return, and then we're gonna go P dot created at for the post, okay? It was called created at minus a dot created at. Probably gonna need the new date, but we're gonna see. Okay, so let me go back right here and refresh. Okay, so now we get him. Okay, so that's 12 hours ago. That's the newest one. 13 hours ago, 3 days ago, then 4 days. Yeah, so it works. So everything is fine. This was 12 hours ago. Yeah, it was 12 hours ago, because I recorded the beginning in the night. Okay, so everything is fine. So now we get all the posts. Okay, everything is fine. We still can, react. Okay, looking good, brother. Let me see. Oh, the loader and everything is fine. That's actually very good. I'm very proud of it. Okay, so we've done a very good job on displaying the post. So this way, if you see this one right here, that means it doesn't have a cover. That's why it's not showing. But for me, I have a cover, so it shows it. Okay. Now, if you want to see view more, see more comments, view more, new one, let's call it hello, and it's gonna be the newest one right here. Okay, that's actually very nice. So let's see, we still have a few things to do, so let's see what. So just maybe one last thing before I go, just like, for example, let me go to like Elon Musk, just to prove that we show like the ones that we follow. Okay, this probably just with the connection. We're gonna have loaders, and you're not gonna see that other one. So now if I just want to unfollow him, okay, so now I don't follow him. That means if I go right here, I shouldn't see it. Okay, so if you refresh, I shouldn't see it. His post should not be right here. Okay, and if you go down, as now I don't follow him, I don't see it. Okay, which is very nice. If I go back to my profile, okay, and go to the friends now, to him, okay, and then I can like follow him again. So follow. Now that I follow him, if I go back right here, okay, we're not gonna need to load after, but just for now, because if I go back down, I can see it. So even the following system is working. That's good.